Hello and welcome to another episode. Today I've got Nicole, an amazing guest, and we're going to have a conversation about a couple of mix of things really, because Nicole does multiple things. We're going to talk about networking and what it can do for your business, but we're also going to talk about self-care as well, because it massively comes into what Nicole does. And I've learned a lot from Nicole in terms of this as well. So before we get into it and have the conversation about all these things, Nicole, would you like to introduce yourself and what you do?
Fab, thank you, Dani. Hi, everybody. My name's Nicole, and I run a business called The Makeup Guide, where I help and educate women over 40 on how to apply their makeup. A lot of my customers have gone through something, maybe they've had a baby or they've gone through perimenopause, and they've just kind of completely lost their way with how to apply their makeup. They look in their makeup bag and probably a lot of it's maybe 10 years old, and just the techniques and products that they're using just don't work anymore. And then that's when I come in. I help you understand what products best suit your skin type and also how to apply those products to just enhance your natural beauty. So that's what I do, and that's the Makeup Guide.
Amazing. And me and Nicole actually met through networking. So I think we'll start with that, if that's okay. We met through networking, and yeah, we've known each other for a few years now, haven't we? And we met through that, and it's been so beneficial because we've worked together. She's been a client of mine. I have been a client of yours. I attended one of your workshops, and you did a thing at my old house that was really good. Was it your first group session?
It was definitely one of my first group sessions. Yeah, I think out there like I needed some people to like practice with, and you were like, I'll do it.
And it was amazing. It really was. I learned so much just from 2 sessions with Nicole, so I can imagine all the other wealth of knowledge around makeup and skincare that you have. And I still practice what Nicole says to this day, because it works. It's good. It's easy as well, which is what I'm all about. But we met through networking. So when I started networking, it was back in 2019. When did you start networking for your business?
Probably, I would say maybe in 2020. I think I joined some groups in 2019, but it wasn't until lockdown that I actually started taking part in like the actual networking meetings and things like that. So I'd say 2020.
Yeah, I think I got more active with it. I did one in 2019, and then I got active in 2020 as well, which is ironic because that shows everybody needed connection during the pandemic.
Yeah, we did.
That's why I did it. What was the reason you started networking for your business and for yourself?
So I started networking, I think because lockdown had hit, and it was like, well, I'd already started my business in 2019 as a side hustle to my full retail job. And then obviously lockdown hit, and I was like, well, I've got some time on my hands. This is now my chance to actually start running it more like a business. And I thought, I don't know. I don't know why networking was the thing that I was like, yeah, that's the thing I'm going to do. I don't know why. Perhaps I was just drawn to it, and that's why it happened.
Sometimes though, we just see these things, don't we, and think, you know what, let's give it a try, just to see if it works, as we've got to do in business, which is what I did. I loved seeing how from the side of it, seeing how women were working together, going to awards ceremonies, supporting each other, shouting each other out, and I was like, I want a bit of that, and I just couldn't see myself being in that, but now I am, and I love it. So like when I first started, I was really, really nervous. Like my first event, I've been talking about this a lot today actually. I'm really nervous going to my first event. It was in person. Even online I was nervous because I wasn't a confident person. And I feel like we're all like that when we first start out. How did you feel when you first started? And what kind of obstacles were you facing to not go?
Yeah, 100%. I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect either, because I'd never done it before. And so it's like you almost didn't know what if you needed to prepare, or anything. Yeah, so I was very nervous. Mine was an online one because obviously, like I say, it was lockdown. And yeah, so I was very nervous, and I can remember like you doing like your like 1 minute pitches. I was just like, like shaking.
Because we're not
But I
used to talking about ourselves, are we?
no, everybody goes through that. I think when it's something new, isn't it? So it's human nature to be scared when you are doing something new. But what's that saying about, the best things come from being scared or something? There's a saying about it, isn't
it? Yeah, well, I can't remember the saying, but it does. It gives growth, doesn't it? Once you overcome, you do the thing. Oh, that's not so bad, and you go past the fear, I guess. And sometimes we do have to think, well, what's the worst that could happen? It's not as scary as we think.
No, so, and just think, had you not started, where you would be now, and had I not started, where I would be now. So,
and we both ended up running networking events in the end, actually. So I don't now, but I will let a little secret out. I do plan to in future, but when I do it, I don't want to do it alone. So I have a plan, but this plan needs to be in place at the right time, so it will come. Because I loved it, and I loved running them. I guess I like just being in control and organising things, so I want to do that bit.
I'm being in control of them.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Because when you see the impact of all these women coming together and what they get from it as well, it's so good. What have you got out of networking then personally?
Oh my gosh, Dani, if you got an hour.
I know.
I have got so much from networking. I think that's one of the reasons why I started my own group in Bingley. So off the top line, inspiration is one of them. Like I remember watching you when I first started networking, and just watching your journey, and you reducing your hours at work, then leaving work. I just think by surrounding yourself with other women that are in the same boat as you, trying to change their lives basically, and change, their everyday life, it's so inspirational. And I always say that I 100% don't think I would have left my job if it wasn't for the empowerment that I got from networking, from the women that I met, from just seeing what other ladies were doing. When you network with other women, they show you that you are worth more, and that you're valued, and you should value yourself, and you should value your time. And I think just through that's one of the reasons why I left my job, because I think through networking I was inspired, and I also learned the value of my own time.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I just got to the point where I was like, I'm working. You work for what? Is it 80% of your week or something? Why spend it doing something you don't love? Do you know what I mean? So, you just need to respect and value yourself. And that's one of the things that I just picked up on so much through networking. So inspiration, knowing your own value, are two things I definitely got from networking. And then obviously you do get more customers. You do, like your customer. Had I not started networking, I wouldn't have met you. Do you know what I mean? And I wouldn't have met many of my other customers. God, you get more collaborations, and that's the thing. You never know who you're going to meet at networking, and that's why it's like some networking meetings you go to when they're first starting out, they might only have 5 people there, but there might be just one person there, and that's the only person you needed to meet. Because you just never know what they will then help you do, or you can learn from. So much. And also just lots of learning as well, because I was very new to business. There so many nuggets of information came from going to the networking, meeting people like yourself, who were experts in their field, and just learning from you and the other women. Again, I don't think I would know as much as I do now if I hadn't got networking. Simple as that.
I agree. I agree
It
with
would
that myself.
forever
Yeah.
to learn that stuff, and I wouldn't have known where to start either.
It's true, isn't it? Like I went to an event a couple of weeks ago. We weren't there for business, but a few of us were in business. And just before I went home, like one of the women, she's older than me, she just like shows me how to do things with my phone. And I'm like, oh, well, what's your Instagram then? Because I need to learn more from you. Because you were just showing some simple things that I didn't know you could do with your phone. I was like, what? Yeah, I need more of this. So I went and followed her on Instagram, and I've actually said to her, I'm going to stalk your page, and I do. I go on and have a nosy because it's so different what she shares. What I'm not, and I love learn. I learn a lot all the time, but I just love taking it in. And it's just like even in settings that are not about business, you can always learn new things from people. You just never know the value that person's going to bring into your life. And then I shared what she taught me. I shared her because other people obviously want to see her as well because like she's helped me.
Everybody wants these simple tips that she's got.
They do. Like she showed me how to do stuff with your phone, like on your settings that I didn't even know. I mean, I couldn't tell you right now unless I went into my phone. No, maybe like a safe, but yeah, it was really cool. And I agree. I've got like the same from networking. It's been so beneficial, and it's good for me. I think because as a mum at home with the kids, well, they're all in school now, but they weren't when I started networking. I had 3 young children at home, my husband, so it was good to kind of give myself that break. I mean, I did go to work, but give myself that break and escape work, escape the house, and connect with women who get it.
And that is it as well, isn't it? It's that support network that you get as well. And it is that almost, even though you are working because you're networking, it is almost escapism as well, because you're just having conversations with other like-minded women. It's like now, it's just like having a coffee and a chat, isn't it, really, with one of your best friends?
It is exactly that. It's so relaxed, especially if you go to the right events. And what we will do is we'll leave a link in the notes for you to go and check out Nicole's group if you're local. But you do some do you do online ones?
I don't know. I tried to at the very beginning, but then it just didn't seem to. I think everyone was just like, no, we want in person. But who knows in the future, I may, do you know what I mean, if it kind of rekindles again. So
amazing, but definitely go check out her group because even in that group, there's opportunities to share what you do and things. It's a cool group, and I have to say it's a good tight knit group of ladies that actually engage and have conversations, which is rare to find these days. And it's if you find those communities, those are the best ones to attend. So I'm very actually particular with the networking events that I go to because I like what I like and I've got comfortable where I go. I am trying to reach out into new circles, but I do find it quite hard. But again, going back to that pushing myself out my comfort zone, it's got to be done.
But no, I do totally agree with you as well, though, that there are different types of networking groups. They're run by different companies and stuff, and you've got to find the ones that vibe with you. Do you know what I mean? Because they all run so differently. I think it's like I went to 2 different ones last week, run by different companies, and 2 very different kind of vibes, if you know what I mean. And I think the company's vibe attracts the same vibe, doesn't it? So you do have to find the one that matches you, I think, to then find the people that match you as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally makes sense. It definitely does. I actually, not many people know this, but when I did a little bit of a networking marketing business years ago after my second child, and one of the tips was, start some breakfast networking meetings. So I went into Facebook and groups and things and got people together, and it was men and women. And I just felt uncomfortable. I couldn't relate to the men at all because it was like construction businesses, setting up TVs, stuff that I just wasn't interested in. And because I was a new mum, they didn't really get me. But then what also happened was there were women that I connected with who were older than me. And I do connect with older women, I really do. But very judgmental about me and my business. So then it made me realise and I'd organised that as well, but it showed me that the connections I'd made there weren't the right fit. So I went and joined the working events where I did find it was the right fit, which is so important.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about networking, but it's helped us both so much.
We're both
And
big advocates of it.
yeah, and let's get into self-care because we find ourselves doing the networking events, doing the things we need to do in our business, content, showing up, being visible. But then we have to take time for ourselves as well. And this is something I've learned the hard way recently, again, and I'm always learning more. But you help people with their self-care massively, don't you? And what you create for them is amazing. So what actually made you come into this and help women with their skincare, their makeup? What made you come into this? Share that story.
So I used to work in retail, so I've always been in that kind of what's the word, that place of helping women feel and look better. Do you know what I mean? Like, they come into the shop, you help them find the right outfit that helps them feel amazing. They go out the shop feeling like a completely different woman. You know, you found them the right color outfit, the right shape, and all of that. And most of the time throughout doing that as well, you've had a good conversation about their life and, you know, what problems they've got going on. And so you're almost a bit of a agony aunt as well, giving them a chance to kind of just like rant and like, oh, let go. So I've always been in that space. But had you asked me 5 years ago, or no, if you'd said to me 5 years ago, Nicole, you're going to be running a makeup and skincare business and you're going to be supporting women feel better about themselves through makeup, I would have laughed in your face because it was not, makeup was something that I didn't really know a lot about. But at the time, I was feeling very low at work because, like you, Dani, I love to learn. I love to be challenged. And I think quite often when you're in a corporate job, that can sometimes stagnate. And that's what happened. And now, throughout my journey, I do believe in how the universe works, and it brings you what you need at the time. And that's what happened. It just kind of, it brought me Lime Life. Like, it showed me Lime Life on Facebook, as it does, and I just said, right, let's do it. I think it took me a week to think about, you know, because obviously it's a network marketing business. All of the, oh, what will people think, you know, because most of society hates network marketing, doesn't it? So it spent about a week worrying about other people. And then at the end I was just like, oh, I don't care, I'm just going to do it, see what happens, and see, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's fine, at least I've tried it. And I think the one thing that happened very quickly is, one, I was learning again, because like I said, I had no clue about makeup myself. So I was having to learn it all to be able to share. I had to learn. And I think when you're learning, you just, I don't know, it gives you like a spark, doesn't it, when you're learning? It was very empowering.
It is.
And then I remember my husband just saying to me, like, within, I think it was like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, he was like, oh, you've got your spark back, you've got like a buzz about you. And I do think that was because of the learning that I was going through, and because I was spending time on myself. Because in order to learn that stuff, I was having to do my makeup. I was having to, you know, spend an hour watching a tutorial and then doing it on myself. And it was just pure self-care and self-development for like however many months. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, I've totally forgotten what the question was, Dani. But for me, I love seeing when my clients go from, a lot of my clients will rush their makeup. They'll just whack it on. And I love it when two things happen. One, they try something new and they'll send me a picture and they'll go, look at this new eyeshadow I tried, because that's very empowering as well. And two, when they spend more time on it, because I'm a huge advocate for spending time on yourself. And for me, your makeup and skincare routine are two of the easiest places you can do that, because you're already doing it. You're already, hopefully, doing a skincare routine. So just amplifying that a little bit. And the same with your makeup routine. You're probably already putting makeup on for work. So why not, instead of rushing it, why not make it a mindfulness kind of exercise and take longer? Spend time on yourself, people.
Yeah, and we can always make time for it, can't we? Because I do now. Like, I don't wear makeup very often, but what I have learned from you and the products that I use now, and some of them are from Nicole, by the way. I've learned a lot about Nicole and the products that I use and how they can work for me. But before I had no idea at all, and it's actually helped a lot. I used to suffer a lot with my skin in particular. It would literally itch, especially on this side of my face. Whereas now, do you know what? I never really used to look in the mirror because of it. But now it's my mirror from you. It's actually in my bathroom. And I see myself every morning. I brush my teeth first. And it used to be just brush your teeth and go, dash out the bathroom because I've got the kids to sort and check everything's ready. But now I take time for me. And it's nice just to do that. But what I also do is I love that my daughter sees me do that. So she wants to get involved, which is such a good thing because then she's going to grow up with that. Whereas I didn't. I remember my mum getting some really cheap products just to try them out, but was never consistent with it. Never give herself that chance, that time. And I remember saying to my mum once, I think it was a birthday a few years ago. I'm like, right, I'm going to give you money. I want you to buy something for yourself from it. Because one thing I realised when I grew up was that she never bought new clothes for herself that often. And I wanted her to do that. So I ended up buying her a nice dress while we were out shopping one day. And it was nice. And she looked really good in it. And I think, thinking back to that, I think, why did my mum not give herself that time? That's because she was giving it to us.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge advocate if we've got to give time to us to then give it to our husbands, wives, whoever we're spending our time with, children, dogs, whatever your situation is, like, we've got to look after ourselves first, don't we? We absolutely do.
And 100%. And I think that's where a lot of my customers have been, Dani. Like, obviously you're a customer as well. They have children, and it's just natural for a lot of the energy to go on to them and for us to forget about ourselves and us be the bottom of our priority list and then everybody else above us. And then what happens is later on down the line, they then want to spend more time on themselves, and that's when they kind of come and see me. But for me, I'm like, no, do it while you've got kids, because just like you just said, you are showing them that they need to focus on yourself as you get older. Do you know what I mean? Setting a good example, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I communicate that as well. So it's not just go away, I'm doing this. It's Mummy's doing this for her because it's going to make me feel good, whatever. And then I will come do the thing, And actually, my husband gets on board with that now, where he will be like, Mummy's just having her time. I used to, like, before we moved house, we would take time, me and my husband, we'd have an hour on a Sunday. I used to love Sundays because I'd force him to go first, because if I went first, he'd never do it. So he'd go off in the bathroom, have an hour, nice soak in the bath, then come downstairs to the kids. Then it would be my turn. And we used to have that routine every Sunday. God, do I miss that, because we have a wet room now for his needs and his disabilities. So a lot safer, I must say, but I do miss the bath. Yeah, it was like a big self-care practice that we both did, and we both miss it. But it did. So it's not just for women, is it? It's for men as well, in whatever way they can.
No.
Because I think men believe that they don't have to do like skincare and what have you, but like I know men struggle with it as well. Like when they're shaving or whatever skin things are going on for them, they need it too.
Like a lot of men will probably go to the gym or like maybe go for a run or something like that. But if you're not athletically inclined, then as men, you've still got to find something that is you spending time on you. Do you know what I mean? Like my husband likes to game. That's his kind of downtime. So it's everyone should be doing it.
Yeah, because I think it makes such a difference. It really does. So if someone wanted to start working on their self-care for themselves, implementing a skincare or makeup routine, what would be your advice for getting started?
So getting started is one, come see me, obviously.
Yeah.
I suppose it just depends what you want to get started with. For me, I do tend to talk about makeup a lot because obviously I am the makeup guide, but it's like I've got a lady, she wants to do her own makeup, but she's got a lot of skincare issues going on, like she was using a retinol but incorrectly, so we've got a lot of skin things to work through before really we can get to the makeup stage. So I would say I would start with your skincare because your base gives you the best makeup. Basically, if you've got a good base, you're going to have good makeup. And also I think with skincare, like you, Dani, a lot of my customers don't wear makeup every single day. They are kind of like a special occasion, if they're going out for dinner or something like that. Whereas your skincare, you're going to do that every single day, twice a day. So that is going to give you, one, a good start to your day, and a nice end to your day as well, because it can be quite relaxing. And
Nice.
just having, I think my skincare routine is probably about 7 minutes, roughly, which it doesn't sound long, but it's still 7 minutes of me getting myself ready for bed, do you know what I mean? Or getting myself ready during the day. So yeah, I would say start with your skincare routine. You can seek advice either from myself or someone else around your skin concerns, your skin goals, and then I tend to build a regimen based on that. I also do skincare audits, which is what the lady's having next week. To audit what you've got, because I am also a big advocate of not wasting. So if you've got products already that work, or are good enough as such to keep you going, I'll always work with what you've got, and then we just add in and replace as it needs. Like if someone's got a whole cabinet full, it's very unlikely that we're going to give them a whole new regime, because I'm like, no, we should just finish all of this lot first, and maybe add in something that will help you get to your skin goals quicker. But I love doing skincare audits because I'm a proper ingredient nerd. I love going through bottles and being like, yes, that's a good ingredient, no, that's bad. Like, proper nerd on the ingredients.
Love it. But it's good, isn't it? Because like you offer such a different service, like something that it's so unique that I've not come across, which is why I love what you do. And when you had these ideas when we worked together, I was so excited because like basically Nicole is with Lime Life, which is a network marketing company, but she's taken it down a completely different route where you can have the products or you can do the learning stuff with you and feel better. But like I use a mix of Tropic, but now I've tried makeup that's Lime Life through Nicole. My mirror's from Nicole. Sorry, those are discontinued now though. But the foundation is brilliant, and I will not switch now because since I was a teenager, I've never had makeup that sits right on my skin until now, and so I just won't change it. And if they're discontinued, that I'll probably cry because it's amazing stuff.
That might happen.
And I wouldn't have applied it right if it wasn't for you either. Like just all the little things like knowing which brush to use, what to do with my skin before I even put the makeup on, all of the stuff. It's made such a difference, increases my confidence and helps me feel better. And it doesn't take me that long. The makeup takes a little bit longer because I'm now a bit more wary of what I'm doing, whereas before it was a slap it on and go and then not be 100% happy with it. But I've changed that, and it helps so many women, I think, to just take that time to do all of that and to work on that and take that time for you. Definitely.
I think that's it. I think there's no point buying something if you don't know how to use it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
And I feel like I did that a lot. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you're not getting
gifted,
exactly,
it's like business. Like we were talking about networking. The amount of money I've wasted in courses that were stuff that that's not what I wanted to try or what. And then it's the same with makeup and skincare. Like I wasted a lot as a because my skin was so bad as a teenager. A lot of cheap products, but they're saying you buy cheap, you buy twice. I actually believe that in some instances, not all, but some. And the products I did buy were horrendous. Some of them made it worse. Clear Skin's one that you'd see all over, but actually I reacted to it whilst on holiday. my face was probably red and itchy. It was awful. So then, like, oh, what do I do now? This is what everybody says to use, but actually it doesn't work for me. Because the key is, isn't it, to find out what is right for you, which is what I say when I'm business coaching as well. Like, if I'm going to build a strategy for you, I'm not going to tell you what I do and you should do it. It's, okay, this is what, look at your situation and how we can build it for you. So it's the same with your skincare and makeup, is what's unique to you, which is why you're an ingredient nerd, because you will know what works for me, what works for you, depending on.
Yeah. That's it. I think knowledge is power, and I think that's why I like with the skincare audits. Obviously, it's not just me that's like knows that stuff. Then my customer does. So even if she didn't want to buy from me, she could go into a wherever, and she knows what ingredients to look for when she is shopping for skincare and what ingredients to stay away from. So I hate people wasting money, Dani.
I know, yeah. It's frustrating, isn't it, when you just know there's a better way to help them. It really is. So if we want to come and network with you, and if we want to get help with creating some self-care routines for ourselves, how do we come and connect with you?
So for my makeup business, the best place is my community on Facebook, which is called the Makeup Hub. I do tutorials in there. I offer tips and whatnot in there, demos, all of that sort of thing. And then for Bingley Ladies in Business, there is again a community group on Facebook which is called Bingley Ladies in Business. If you just want to just connect with me, my name is just Nicole Beeby-Oliver on both Instagram and Facebook. So
amazing. We'll include the links there. And the question that I ask everybody, what would be your best tip for being organised in your business?
Go see Dani.
How did I know you'd say that? She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
I'm not wrong. Literally, I am probably the most unorganised person when it comes to my business, to be honest. So I'm not the best person to ask, Dani, in that respect.
Well, see, I think you're quite organised compared to some. Like, we and Nicole were talking about networking events the other day, and she's already like got herself prepared for the rest of the year. So there is a bit of organisation there.
Yeah, I suppose I have stints where I'm like super organised, and then that's when that sort of thing happens. Normally, when there's a deadline, like I'm a deadline worker. Me, if you said you didn't need doing for 4 months, I'm probably not going to do it for at least 3 months and 3 weeks.
Loads of people work like that, though. Definitely. Yeah. But that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing with us today about your story and talking networking and self-care. It's been a really good conversation. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Brilliant.
Thank you.